So I'll be talking about Deepwind Gorge. Deepwind Gorge is a very interesting map. It looks and feels kind of like some of you ever catch a flag or not catch a flag, catch a base maps, but it's very different due to the simple fact there are so many buffs on this map. There are so many buffs you can pick up that can change flow of battle very quickly and very rapidly. The first two buffs I want to talk about are the Berserks. You have two Berserks that every team should pick up every time before they get into a fight. This is going to be the highest damage dealer, like a Boomy, a Mage, a Paladin, who will be picking this up. So in this situation, I'll be sending this Mage up here to pick up this Berserk, and on this team, I'd for example send my Paladin up to pick up this Berserk. And we then go into a fight with this. Additionally, in the mid, there's a very important buff, the Time Warp. Time Warp resets all your cooldowns. That means if you, for example, send your, let's say you send Shaman in, he can use his Ascension, and you pop all his cooldowns, whatever he has, can't remember all his cooldowns, Astral, Self, all the defensives, go in there, pick it up, and have a few seconds of him running when he gets out still. He can then come out and have all his cooldowns back and be ready to pump once again. On this team, I'd probably send something in like the Retribution Paladin because you have the Mage picking up the Berserk. Retribution Paladin can, like the Shaman, use his wings, his Divine Shield, and then go full on ham when he gets out. He still has 5 seconds-ish of having his Divine Shield up, and he has a lot of seconds on his wings. If you have a Monk, you want to try and ring of Peace people out. It's very important to ring of Peace people out of this, because if you do get it, you have such a strong momentum in the fight. That's additional cooldowns. As a Boomy, if you're able to incarnate and convoke, and then after that get new convoke off immediately, you will blow the enemy team out of the waters. That's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing, which is very important to talk about in this map more than most maps, is where you want to send your defenders. This is a very large map. It takes a long time compared to the other maps to walk from one place to the other due to how the map is structured. So what you want to do on these places, especially when you go from market to quarry, or not market to quarry, I mean market to ruins and market to farm, is you want to have a warlock portal. Warlock portals in this map is very helpful and can save so much time. So if you make a warlock portal, I'm just gonna do it this way. Make a warlock portal from here to here, and the other team makes a warlock portal from here to here. You save a lot of travel time. This is essential if you are to get to these places in time. Last but not least, you have to think about who's defending what bases. So normally a lot of people think, okay, I've talked a lot about Demon Hunters not being able to protect easily. They're not very capable in my opinion. So of course they should go down here to the Time Warp. No, we should not. That's the worst place to send a Demon Hunter. There's not enough space to move around. If he has to stop them from capping, he has to jump over here, gets blinded, and they still cap. So you send a Demon Hunter up here because he has a lot more space to move around. He can hide a lot more spaces, get out quickly, hit, and go back. There's a lot more places to hide and try and juke the enemy. Whereas this place here is very centered around this small area. So you want to send Rogue down here. You also want your Rogue to be able to reset all his cooldowns. The enemy team in this situation, of course, wants to send the Druid over here and the Rogue up here to Quarry. Rogue can, due to him being on Quarry, and him having the availability of a Berserk, able to take this and maybe even one-shot the enemy Demon Hunter instead. This does happen quite often, I feel like, and that's why you want to send a Rogue against a Demon Hunter. Because you're against this kind of team comp, and you know the enemy is probably going to do this because the Demon Hunter can use Spectral Sight, he can see where the enemy is. You want to have one person, going to be your Mage or your Paladin, be ready to move to help your Demon Hunter, because he will be needing assistance if the Rogue picks up the Berserk, because the Rogue can one-shot him, and yes, that does happen. Trust me, I've seen it way too many times. For your other side of the map, I'm going to be talking a bit about defending in the beginning. Over here is the easiest place to defend, in my opinion. It's so easy to defend ruins, but it's also very easy to screw up the defense and get too far away from the flag. I've done this myself, and it's very embarrassing. Just gonna say it outright. It's very, very embarrassing. So as a Guardian Druid this here, or not as a defender, I mean, you want to use this terrain here. Whereas right here, you can go upstairs, some stairs, and you can stand right here and be ready to attack. As a Demon Hunter, you want to jump up to this place. you can actually, as a Demon Hunter, jump up here and you can just wait out till they come, because they can't sap you from up here unless we shadow step you, and then they can't get the flag in time. If you have to blind, you can trinket and you just throw your things down, your shurikens. Other classes have to walk around and manually stand up here or around these pillars here. I do advise against standing here, due to that's where the enemy rogue often checks. So do stand like around here, here, or up here. Try and stand versus a small ledge. I can try and draw it up a bit. There's a small ledge right here on the green marker. Let's say this is the ledge, right? Here's where the wall stops. Here's where there's a small hole right here you can stand on where no one ever checks. So if you stand on that small hole, people are not going to notice you're here. It's almost next to where the healing buff is, because it's like a small iron bar that sticks out of the wall, and you can stand on top of that and be secretive about where you are. Be a small ninja, a big ninja actually. So these are ways you defend this place down here. Down here, depending on your class, there are a few different ways to defend it. The most optimal way, in my opinion, is trying to not stand too close to the flag, always. Standing too close to the flag, if you're not guarding through it, is generally a bad idea. Because they can sap you and you can't get out of it unless you have like an incarn or something like that. So what you want to do is you want to stand close to the flag, but not close, but not far away from a time dilation or time warp. You want to stand close to a time warp, but not close to the flag. Right here, there's a shrine. That's why it's called shrine. Just gonna try and draw it up a bit. On the shrine, there's a small water pool, and there's a big one behind it. These two water pools, and then the shrine's here, and you have the time warp right there. Here's the time warp. You want to stand on one of the pools where you can just backpedal. There's right here on the pool, if you stand here-ish, where you can just backpedal once and you'll get the time dilation, the time warp. That means you can pop your cooldowns. I often do this when defending. I see someone capping, I pop Incarn, pick up the time, I pop Incarn, Barkskin, and Survival Instinct, pick it up, and then go in to stop him. Because then I have everything up again. If you're an attacker, pick it up before you attack, because you don't want to be against a druid who can double Incarn your ass. You'll not be able to cap for 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes time. Don't be stupid. Remember to take it from the enemy. Steal it. You gotta get that before you cap. I see so often rogues try and cap on me who do not pick it up. You have stealth, for God's sake. Pick it up. It's free real estate. No meme. So, those are a few strategies on the southern side. On the northern side, up here in Quarry, let's draw it up again. Let's enlarge it. It looks essentially like this. There's a ramp down here and ramp down here. And additionally, you have, as you see on the map, you have this here. You cannot walk down. You can jump down, and right under here, there's Berserk. Oops. Right under this place, there's Berserk. That doesn't really matter for you. When defending, again, right here on the edge, that's where I advise people to stand. Because you can actually cheese enemies. Right here, on the edge of here, there's like this small blip where the wall goes down, right? You can stand on top of these wooden planks, and people, they won't be able to see if they walk on top of you. But you can see them. As soon as they start capping, you can hit people with ranged abilities from there, and they won't be able to do anything about it. If I knew how to edit videos, I'd show that in a video right now, but as I'm completely new at this, I do not have an editor or anything, I'm just going to try and explain it as well as I can. Over here, you have a lot of defensive options. First of all, you have this over here. You have a shelter, a farmhouse. It looks kind of like this. You have these pillars you can stand behind, and you want to stand behind them. That's this place here. Very simple. This over here is a box. It goes kind of like this. Again, you stand behind the corner. Here you have a what's called a fence you can stand behind, and over here you have a small shrine. Again, actually, you can also stand behind. Last but not least, you have this protrusion where you can go up and you can defend. So, now talking about strategies. What do you do on this map? You have these two team comps. What are you supposed to do? First of all, we have to identify what are each team comps good at. Once again, we have the horde team fighting. I see it right up here. Is so strong at team fighting. You do not want to team fight this team fight. You don't want to team fight this team, because they will generally win against you. It's their objective is to team fight. So you want to try and not fight them. You want to try and trick them. So as a Lion side here, what I would do personally is I would send most of my team here mid, but I'd actually have my what's called my mage and my rogue. I'd make my rogue leave shrine, and I try to make him cap either here or here depending on wherever the enemy tank goes, and depending on who you're against. If it's a hunter, you definitely go for a hunter because it's easier to cap on a hunter than it is to cap on a rogue. A rogue can delay for a very long time if he does not get spotted and he knows how to play. So you want to send your mage and rogue to one of these places. You don't do this in the beginning, you do this if you don't win the team fight. And you will most likely lose the team fight. It doesn't matter if you lose the first time team fight, you can win the next one. But if you lose the first team fight, you want to try and send your mage and rogue, and you want to try and make a distraction. Either you go mid, or you can actually do the classic RMP, Rogue Mage Priest. It's the best comp in the whole game for free, and there's a reason why it's so feared. RMP is the single best team fighting comp. It has mind games, it has a lot of burst, it has lots of sustained damage even, and is able to keep their footing with lots of viability. In this situation, if you have RMP setting, you want to try and still force something. It means you either force market, or the best idea is to force Quarry. But why force Quarry, you might ask? Isn't that kind of far away? Exactly, it's in China compared to the other place. The enemy has to split their team completely in order to defend this. Because they have to send a lot of, like this is still 2 healers and 4 DPS. They have to send at least the same. So they have to send 2 healers. As we're going to send, as we have sent Paladin and Priest, we're also going to send Paladin and Priest. We're going to send our Warlock, our Warrior, our Demon Hunter, and our Rogue. We're going to be defending here. It means we can send these 4 people down here, right? But that leaves market open, right? We can't have that. Not legal. You will lose market then. Okay, what do we do then? We're going to send our Paladin mid. He's going to defend. It means we have a Guardian Druid, a Shaman, and a Priest defending. That's not going to work out, man. This is how you split the map. You force the enemy to split the map in a way that's not favorable. Of course, the enemy might win this, and that's going to be really bad. But generally, RMP should be winning this matchup, and they should be able to get the win. Of course, it does also leave you susceptible to a ninja on the shrine. That's the biggest problem with this tactic is if a paladin decides to leave and go down here. That means this is susceptible, and you can go here and cap. So really, you can't really go ninja capping here unless you decide to leave one person here to go down ninja cap this place, but then you're getting outmanned. So you're forcing the enemy to have all their pieces in play at once. And once all the pieces in play, they can't really move because if they move, they will lose a base, and they don't want to lose a base right now. So they either have to A, risk losing a base, or B, just fight as the most logical solution. And the problem is with fighting, you will most likely lose. So you're in a bad situation. So this is the tactics, or some of the tactics you can go through. As I've mentioned earlier, there are so many tactics for these kind of maps, and it's so hard to go into detail about every single one, because I can keep going for hours on end about strategies, different comps, and so on and so forth. So I want to try and keep it short to 10 to 15 minutes, and if people have questions, do come to my Twitch and ask me or comment down in the comment section. This is my first time doing this, so if you do have some comments, please do leave them, because I do want to get some criticism as I'm completely new at this. I hope you like it. Do like and subscribe, follow me on Twitch, and see you later.